The sun rises over Edo, summer of 1787. The city stirs, carts rumble, vendors call out, but beneath it all is a quiet fear. Edo is built of wood and paper, always one spark away from disaster. Fires haunt every memory. Everyone has lost something to them. The summer heat brings another worry: famine. The city's fate hangs in a delicate balance. Edo is a marvel, one of the world's largest cities, yet fragile. Their story is one of survival. In Edo, every sunrise is a victory. 1787 was deep in the Great Tenmei Famine. Strange weather and volcanic ash dimmed the sun. Rice crops failed year after year. In the countryside, starvation was everywhere. Villages vanished. Desperation grew. At first, Edo felt distant from this suffering. The shogunate's rice storehouses seemed to promise safety. But the famine dragged on, and granaries emptied. Rice prices soared. Ordinary people could no longer afford it. Merchants hoarded rice, hoping for higher profits. The city's cheerful noise faded, replaced by worry and hunger. Artisans and laborers lost work. All that mattered was finding food. Edo, once vibrant, was slowly starving. Fire destroyed quickly, but famine crept in silently, day by day. Neighbors became rivals. The city's unity frayed. The government seemed powerless. The people abandoned. Empty food stalls and locked granaries fueled anger. The city was a powder keg, waiting for a spark. Hunger changed everything: work, relationships, hope. The famine tested Edo's spirit like never before. People's patience wore thin. The city's future felt uncertain. Every meal was a struggle. The crisis deepened and unrest grew. Edo was on the brink. The shogunate saw the unrest and tried to control it. Orders went out. Merchants must stop hoarding. Rice prices were set, but merchants hid rice, selling it secretly for more. Officials inspected warehouses, but corruption was rampant. Soup kitchens offered thin gruel, but it was never enough. People waited all day for a single bowl. Relief efforts were a drop in the ocean. As hunger worsened, punishments grew harsher. Arrests, even executions. Fear spread, but food did not. Edicts urged frugality. Mix millet or barley with rice. But people were already doing this out of necessity. Frustration boiled over. Riots erupted. Uchikawashi, or smashings. Crowds attacked rice merchants' homes and warehouses. They took rice and shared it with the hungry, seeing it as justice. The government sent samurai to restore order, but anger was unstoppable. The city descended into chaos. Hunger turned to rage. The people demanded fairness. Edo's fragile peace was shattered. The crisis reached its peak. In a quiet Edo neighborhood lived Denbai, a humble gardener. His small plot was once just a hobby. Daikon, cucumbers, leafy greens. He shared extra vegetables with neighbors, but few valued it. When famine struck, Denbei's garden became a lifeline. While markets emptied, his family ate fresh food. Neighbors watched with envy, realizing the garden's worth. Denbei shared what he could, vegetables for the sick, the elderly, but he knew he couldn't feed everyone. So he offered something greater, his knowledge. He taught neighbors how to turn their own dirt patches into gardens. Denbei's generosity sparked hope. His garden became a symbol of resilience. He showed that survival was possible, even in crisis. The community began to change. People saw the power of self-reliance. Denbei's lessons spread quickly. The neighborhood found new strength. In hardship, Denbei planted more than seeds. He planted possibility. His example inspired others to act. Denbei taught his neighbors to garden, how to prepare soil, save seeds, and grow food. Many had never touched earth before, but Denbei was patient. Soon gardens appeared everywhere. Backyards, balconies, even temple grounds. The neighborhood transformed. Empty spaces turned green. These gardens brought hope and self-reliance. People shared tools, water, and advice. Strangers became friends, united by the work. The gardens became gathering places where hunger was forgotten for a while. The community grew stronger, bound by shared effort. The food from these gardens didn't replace rice, but it made a difference. Greens in soup, a roasted sweet potato, small things that kept families alive. The gardens were a lifeline, a testament to resilience. They showed that people could help themselves even when the government failed. The famine's hardship forged new bonds. The act of growing food became an act of defiance and hope. The neighborhood survived together. The garden's impact lasted beyond the crisis. They became symbols of strength and unity. People discovered their own power. The seeds Denbei planted grew into a community. In the darkest times, they found light in the soil. Their gardens were proof that life could bloom again. When the famine ended, Edo remembered. Many gardens remained. People had found security in growing their own food. Dependence on government or market felt risky. A small plot meant independence. Officials, once dismissive, now encouraged kitchen gardens. Gardening knowledge spread. Books were written for city dwellers. These gardens became symbols of community strength and resilience. The famine revealed the limits of authority and the power of cooperation. Shared work and food created lasting bonds. The legacy was not in buildings, but in the soil itself. As Edo moved toward modernity, questions lingered. Would urban gardens survive as the city grew? Would the lessons of fire and famine be remembered or lost to progress? The future was uncertain, but the spirit of those gardens endured. Edo's story was now rooted in resilience. The city's green patches held the memory of survival. The legacy of Denbei and his neighbors lived on, waiting to be rediscovered.